welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video. We're going to be doing a budget video today. I know it's a little bit late, it's halfway through the month. I do try and do these at the beginning of the month usually, but my July budget video is a little bit delayed because I actually filmed this once already. So I filmed it and I came to edit it today, literally just now, editing Shan, coming to you, and the audio had just completely disappeared. So it was literally footage of me miming essentially. So I'm going to refilm it. I've already got the screen recording of my budget, everything that I did. I went through my incomings, my outgoings for the month, including my mortgage, my childcare bills, like all of the bills for the household, my personal bills, and then things that I'm saving towards and how I'm saving that money, how I'm dividing the savings up and what apps I'm using, all that kind of stuff. And as always, the spreadsheet is available on Etsy to download if you wanted to use it. It's so simple, you just put in your incomings and outgoings and then everything is calculated for you. I found it a really easy way of sticking to my budget, so if you wanted to download that, that will be down in the description. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so as you can see, I've got my spreadsheet here. I've got from July to December because I've just hidden the tabs from previous months because they've already gone. And I just put in every month what income I get and then what my expenses are. So I've popped in my income. This month I've been really lucky enough to be able to give myself £3,000 before tax from my business, and I've also got on there my child benefit money that I receive from the government every month. I haven't ever actually included child benefit in these spreadsheets because it actually is something that we put straight away into savings for the kids, but I thought just to articulate it better, exactly how much money I have coming in, I've put that on there. And then obviously I have my tax, so I've taken £300 off of my income for tax. I'm self-employed, so I have to do my tax myself, and that is from a dividend income, so it's slightly less than general income tax. But if you're in a normal job where you're employed, usually tax is just taken off for you. But when you're self-employed, you do your own tax. So I take away 10% of my income every month and put it into a pot of money so that when it comes to the end of the year, I have a pot of money ready to pay my tax bill. With all of that included, my total income, including the child benefit and the money I have left over after tax, I have £2,870.20 to play with. Moving on to our joint living expenses. So these are like all of the household bills, mortgage, all of that kind of stuff. This all comes out of our joint account and me and my husband split it 50-50. That's just what we've always done. We always go half in because we've always kind of earned like a similar income to each other. It's slightly different now. My husband earns more than I do, but previously I've earned more than he does and we've always just done it 50-50. It's just what works for us. So what we do is just transfer the money into the joint account, and that's where all of the bills and the mortgage and the childcare, everything comes out of. So my half of the bills is what I'm going to work out today. So for the mortgage, for example, at the moment it's at £550 each because the total amount is £1,100 for the repayments. That is actually going to be going up from August, so I'm not going to look at that yet. It will be going up, so we'll have to make some changes next month, but at the moment our mortgage is £550 each. We were overpaying £150 on our mortgage each as well, so £300 repayments, but I think I'm going to lower that this month to £100 just because there are other things that I'm looking at, and my partner's also lowered his amount, and like I say, we're going 50-50 just because there's other bills, holidays, things like that coming up, and we've lowered it to £100 each this month. Like I said, the child benefit money that we get every month, we put that straight into savings for the kids, and they both have kids ISAs. They're called individual savings accounts, and the £170.20 go directly into their accounts. We split it in half and that's what they get. Then moving on to kitchen repayments, it's £80 each to repay the kitchen that we got done. And then we also budget £200 for food, groceries, household kind of items like kitchen spray and kitchen roll and that kind of thing each every single month. Water is £33 each. Gas and electric is £100 each. On the gas and electric, at the moment, it's not actually £100 each a month, but in the winter, it will be that or more. So we're actually putting more money into our account as we go, and then hopefully by winter we'll be in debit in our account, so it won't cost us too much more in the winter, if that makes sense. Our home insurance is £10 each. I don't know why that's so cheap, but it is. Life insurance is £14 each. We have a joint life insurance. Our internet is £15 each. Our TV license is nothing because we paid that in a yearly amount rather than doing it monthly. Our council tax bill is £83 each, and then our childcare is £160 for our son George to go. He goes to Forest School, which is a little bit of a supplement, but he really enjoys it, so we'll definitely carry on doing that. I have a few subscriptions like Office 365, which is £4 each, Spotify, which is £8.50 each, although I think it's actually cheaper than that, so I think I changed this after a while. Our security systems are £16.50 each, for like the Ring doorbell and some cameras we've got around the back and the alarms and stuff on the doors. And then also George's swimming is £30 each a month, so £60 a month each, because every 10 weeks I think it's £140, and then I have a little bit of money, like, again, I'm in credit on that account a little bit. So that's how much money we are putting into the joint account each every single month. So our like household joint bills, I guess. The £1,574.20 is actually a little bit misleading as to how much I transfer into the joint account every month, because that does include the kids' ISA money that comes from the child benefit, and the child benefit money goes straight into the joint account anyway, and then it gets transferred straight back out to the ISA. So I'm just going to change how that looks on the spreadsheet just to make it a little bit clearer that I don't actually transfer this amount of money into the joint account every month. It is actually much closer to 1,400. So I've just changed that on the spreadsheet to make it a little bit clearer. So you can see where I've changed it. It's a little bit clearer now. So £2,700 is what I have after all of my tax and all of the child benefit and the ISA stuff's all finished. 2,700, and of that 1,400 goes into the joint account. If I remember rightly, I'm just going to correct the Spotify amount as well, because it's not £8.50 each, it's £4. And moving on to personal expenses, I have things like petrol every single month. I use about £200 worth of petrol every month because it's still quite expensive. My fitness class, which is £36 every month, and then my holiday payments for 2025. We're going on a big holiday in next summer for a family wedding that we're going to, and we pay £111 every month for that holiday to save up. It's going to be an epic holiday, but yeah, it's an expensive one. So that's what comes out of my like current account every month, and then everything else I try and either save or invest. My investments I'm going to leave blank for this month because there are a lot of expenses, and then for my savings I'm going to transfer all of this money into my Monzo account to put that extra barrier between me and actually spending the money. So firstly, my emergency fund, I put £100 in this month because I'm trying to build up that emergency fund for anything bad that might happen. Literally anything, you name it, there's always something, isn't there? And then for some more specific things that I'm like saving up towards, my car maintenance, for example, that's things like MOT, or if I were to like break down and I needed, you know, to replace something in my car, I just like to add a little bit of money towards that every month for should the worst happen, or when my MOT comes and if it fails, for example. This month I put in £20, and then for my car insurance, I do that yearly because again, you save a little bit of money, so I put in £50 for that every month. And then for my new car fund, for when I do want a new car in the future, I'm gonna add £50 towards that this month. And then for some other longer term savings, so holiday, for example, I actually don't need to save any money towards the holiday that we're going on next month because it's completely paid off, and I have savings in my holiday pot, and I'll show you what's in all the different pots in a minute on my Monzo account. However, I am going to contribute towards the Christmas fund. I'm trying to put in £100 a month, most months, every month other than one I've been able to do it so far, towards my Christmas pot, and I've already got like £600 in the Christmas fund for this year, which I'm so excited about. I'm really happy that I've been able to actually stick to this because it's going to make such a difference when it comes to December and not having to like have massive expenses during that 1 month. I've spread it across the entire year. That isn't just for presents, obviously that's for food and activities and days out and travel. Anything to do with Christmas will come under that umbrella, and we'll have an amazing Christmas. And if there's money left over at the end of Christmas in that pot, I can use it towards other things. So that's my ideal plan. My birthday pot is completely empty because it's just been Hallie's birthday, so I'm going to try and build that back up before September when it's George's birthday. So I'm going to put £100 in the birthday fund. And then these are 2 new pots of money that I've decided to add because I want to carry on doing some really fun things with the family over the next few years. I've got Japan 2030, which I know is a really long way out, but my husband Ash's 40th birthday is in 2030, and we would love to go to Japan. It's something that we've always wanted to do, and we just thought that then would be a really great time because the kids will be older. George will be 9 turning 10, and Hallie will be like 7, is that right? 6 turning 7 maybe. We would love to do it with the family, like on a proper amazing holiday, but it does require saving for big time unless you want to go into debt for it. So I'm going to start now, 6 years out, and I'm going to start saving as much as I can, but £50 a month seems like a realistic target. And if that's not achievable every single month, then that's okay, because like I said, it's a long way out, but any amount that I can put towards it would be just a huge benefit for us. And then another thing that I'd really like to do pretty much every year if we can is go to Download Festival. We went this year with George and it was so much fun. It was so great. He was amazing. It was like, we love all of the bands that were there this year as well. And yeah, we want to go next year. We'd absolutely love to take Hallie next year as well. So I'm going to save up like 20 quid a month every month for that, so that again, next year it's not a big expense, it's something that we've already saved up for and we've got the money set aside. And this is exactly why I like using little pots of money, like digital pots. Monzo use pots, Hyperjar use jars. Any kind of thing like this is brilliant to save towards things that you want to do in the future. And if you've got the luxury of having a little bit of spare cash, rather than keeping it in my current account, because I know I would spend the money. Like if it's in my current account, I'll spend it. Like I've already spent the money that was left over in my current account in July. It's all gone, like absolutely all gone. I've absolutely wasted it. So if I put it into pots of jars, then I know that there's an extra barrier before I actually spend the money. And I tend to not spend it when it's in these jars unless it's for the thing that the jar is allocated for, if that makes sense. So those are all my long-term savings, and Monzo actually lets you get interest on the longer term savings if you want to put it away for a little bit longer. But on the monthly spending money, these are things that I will just spend the money on things like days out, hair, kids' clothes, all that kind of stuff. First up, I contributed £40 to the days out pot. That can be anything from going to the zoo to going to soft play, getting an ice cream while we're out near the beach, like anything. I tend to put like £10 away a month to get my hair done every few months, and then I don't have to think about it. Like by the time I come to get my hair done next, I'll have a little bit of pot of money and won't have to have it as like an additional expense. £10 a month doesn't seem too excessive to me, so that's what I've done. Kids' clothes and my clothes, I actually don't have to contribute towards at all this month because my Vinted balance is very, very healthy. If there's going to be anything that I need to get, I tend to either get it on Vinted or withdraw the money from Vinted. If the kids need anything, for example, for holiday, I'll either use that fund or I'll use the holiday fund because it's kind of the same thing. For nails this month, I am going to put in £30 because I don't want to get my nails done this month, but I do want to get them done next month before holiday. So I'll get £30 this month and maybe £20 next month, and I'll be able to get my nails done before we go on holiday, a nice little luxury for me. Then for like eating out and takeaways, I tend to put in like £20–25 in there every month, just because like realistically we will get at least one takeaway a month. Like whether I pay for that or Ash pays for that, it doesn't really matter. Generally we might go to like a Wetherspoons or McDonald's or a Greggs or something like that. Nothing too extravagant. We tend to just like get things out and about if we, you know, are caught at a loose end or we just don't fancy cooking that night, like that. We will do that at least. Probably I'd say get a takeaway a month and eat out once or twice a month. Like we're not excessive with it, but yeah, £25 probably covers it. So yeah, that is how I decided to allocate all of my money this month, which left me with £353 left over. And like I said, I'm ashamed to admit it, but I have completely and utterly squandered that £353. Like I think I've got £20 left in my current account, which is terrible. Like I haven't bought excessive amounts. Like I've literally bought a couple of things on Amazon. I've gone out with the kids a couple of times and used that money rather than my days out pot. So maybe I should be a bit more honest with myself about how much days out actually cost, because it's a lot. I've bought myself a few earrings. I've got these sets of earrings because I had like really mismatched ones and loads of missing ones. I literally had 3 earrings to get across 6 holes. There was one ear with 1 earring and 1 ear with 2 earrings. So I just bought myself new sets of earrings, which obviously cost some money. Like I have just bought things because I had the money in my current account. Nothing that I needed, but there were things that I wanted. I'm going to be completely honest with you. This is why I find the pot system on like Monzo or Hyperjar so useful, because if it is in my current account, I will spend it categorically. Like I am not proud of it, but it is just what it is, and I know that I won't be the only one that lives like that. Okay, so Hallie has just woken up and she's having a little snack in her high chair, but I promised I would actually show you my Monzo account and how it looks and how much money I've got saved in all of the different pots, based on what I've just showed you, like how much I've contributed this month, but how much I've got in total. I thought it'd be nice to like share that with you and be completely transparent about how I'm saving money. Okay, so first of all, the pots of money that I actually use like on a monthly basis, there or thereabouts, come to a grand total of £335, and those are things like my car maintenance. I don't actually use that every month, but I would like to have access to it, like if the worst should happen. So I do just have that on like a normal savings pot on Monzo, rather than the ones that you earn interest on, which are the longer term savings. And I'll show you those in a minute as well. I've got my birthday fund, which is the £100 that I put in this month. Date nights, I've got £30 in. I didn't actually contribute anything towards that. That was already left over in there, so that was nice. And if we decide to either go out for drinks or go out for lunch or something like that, not like that happens every month, like let's be real, but it's nice to have a little bit of money aside if the occasion were to ever actually happen. Days out, I've got £50 in, I've got £10 left over from last month and £40 left over from this month because that's what I've just contributed. Swimming has also got £60 in that pot because, like I said, every 10 weeks it costs £140. So we just put money into this pot until we have the amount that we need to actually buy the course of swimming lessons for George. And then hair and beauty, I've got £20 in. That can be for a haircut, that can be for nails, like whatever it is. I don't have the full amount that I contributed this month because I withdrew it to get something else. I think I bought some like Moroccan hair stuff, which I'm putting today, Moroccan hair oil, so I withdrew a little bit of money from that already. Eating out and takeaways, £25 like I contributed this month. And then going down to my savings and investments, these are the longer term savings that I've actually put away that you can earn interest on. So in total, across all of my savings in my Monzo account, I've got £1,929.17. And I've already earned interest this month alone. I've earned £1.49p in interest just by having it in these pots. So it's better than nothing. Interest is always a great thing. And for these ones specifically, because I've decided to like put them in for longer, they're not instant access. I think sometimes you've got to wait like 24 hours before taking them out. You can actually earn interest on Monzo, which you can't do on Hyperjar, which is an app that I've used previously. So in my longer term savings pots, I've got my safety net, which is like my emergency fund. So again, should the worst happen, I contributed £100 for that this month, but in total it's like £400, which is really, really great because if the boiler were to break or whatever, then I actually have a little bit of money stashed away for an emergency. Christmas, I've got £600 in there, which again is a really great position to be in July. So I'm very, very grateful for that. Holiday 2024 is £350. Again, that's like just spending money because I've already paid off the holiday, but you know, spending when you're out there, maybe getting last minute things for the kids or whatever, 350 quid towards that. My car insurance pot is £400 so far. Car insurance is so expensive, it's insane. But yeah, I contribute £50 towards that every month, and hopefully by the end of the year when my car insurance renews, I'll have enough money in this pot to just pay it outright rather than have to pay it monthly and it be an added expense. My new car fund, my imaginary new car fund, is £100 so far. It's better than nothing, it's a start. I thought I might as well. And then my two new pots, Japan and Download, have got £50 and £25 in respectively for those future outgoings. So yeah, those are all the savings I've got across my Monzo account and how I've allocated the money towards those things this month. I'd love to know how you would have allocated things. I'm in a great position that I'm no longer in a lot of debt. Obviously we've got a big mortgage and I also am repaying off the kitchen, but I don't have a car loan anymore. I haven't got debt from other like store cards and things like that. They're all positions that I've been in, by the way, but I've just worked hard to like pay off those debts. As a household, we still have debt, let me tell you, and it's hard. I see it from the other side where there are lots of debts and your outgoings are just like constant because you're trying to catch up on debt, and it's so mind-boggling, it's so hard. And I feel like things like Monzo, it's such a good tool to actually try and tackle it. And I get that there are some positions where it's just untenable, it's just really, really hard at the moment. But even if it's little by little, even if it's £10 a month here, £10 a month there, putting all of the money towards your different pots or whatever it might be, for me anyway, the way that my brain works and the way that I like to visualize everything, I find it really, really helpful. And it's helped me pay off debt, it's helped my husband pay off debt, and currently paying off debt. So genuinely, if it's something that you haven't considered yet, I'd give it a try. Apps like Hyperjar are free. Monzo is the version that I have is free, I don't pay for it. And then I think you can like level up and pay for it, but I don't see the point, to be honest. I think it's very, very good as is, and you can earn interest on those longer term savings, which makes it a really good choice. But yeah, that is everything from me this month, guys. Let me know what you want to see on the budgeting side of things in the future. But for now, I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free. Oh, my sweet baby.